William Bullock. On April 12, 1867, 54-year-old William Bullock died in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bullock had revolutionized the printing industry by inventing the Webb rotary printing press. His machine could print thousands of newspaper pages per hour from continuous rolls of paper. Bullock was installing one of his new presses at the Philadelphia Public Ledger. During the installation, a driving belt that connected the press's components became misaligned. The belt wouldn't fit properly onto its pulley. Impatient to fix the problem, Bullock decided to use his foot to force the belt into position. He kicked at the belt while the massive machine was still running. His foot slipped and was caught by the heavy moving components. Bullock's leg was violently pulled into the churning iron gears of his own invention. The massive press crushed his leg and foot before workers could stop the machine. Doctors amputated Bullock's mangled leg to try to save his life. The wound developed gangrene during the amputation surgery. William Bullock died from infection and surgical complications 10 days after the accident. The printing press that bore his name and made publishers wealthy had crushed its inventor to death. Leonardo da Vinci. On May 2, 1519, 67-year-old Leonardo da Vinci died at the Château du Clos-Lucé in Amboise, France. Da Vinci was the ultimate Renaissance man: painter, sculptor, architect, inventor, and scientist. He designed early flying machines, tanks, submarines, and conducted groundbreaking anatomical studies. In his final years, da Vinci had been invited to France by King Francis I. The French king revered da Vinci's genius and gave him a manor house to live in. Francis visited the aging artist frequently to discuss art, science, and philosophy. Da Vinci suffered a stroke that left him partially paralyzed. As his health declined, King Francis I stayed close to his bedside. According to historical accounts, the King of France sat beside da Vinci during his final hours. As da Vinci took his last breath, Francis I cradled the dying inventor's head in his arms. The most powerful monarch in Europe held the artist as he died. It was a moment of absolute secular power bowing before pure genius. Whether this deathbed scene actually occurred is disputed by historians. Some accounts suggest Francis I was elsewhere when da Vinci died, but the legend persists because it perfectly captures the reverence da Vinci commanded: a king holding an artist as he left the world. Orville Wright. On January 30, 1948, 76-year-old Orville Wright died in Dayton, Ohio. Wright and his brother Wilbur had achieved the first powered controlled airplane flight in 1903. Orville had lived long enough to see aviation transform from experimental curiosity to military weapon, watching his invention used in 2 world wars. Wright had survived the most dangerous era of experimental aviation. He'd crashed dozens of times during early flight tests. He'd been thrown from aircraft, broken bones, and barely escaped death while perfecting powered flight. In January 1948, Wright suffered a heart attack while doing routine maintenance around his house. He'd been trying to fix a broken doorbell on his front porch. The simple domestic task triggered a cardiac episode. Wright survived the initial heart attack, but his health deteriorated. 3 days later, he suffered a second fatal heart attack. Orville Wright died in a hospital bed from heart failure. The man who conquered the skies and revolutionized human transportation died from complications that started while fixing a suburban doorbell. His death was unremarkable and domestic, nothing like the dangerous dramatic flights that had made him famous. Stockton Rush. On June 18, 2023, 61-year-old Stockton Rush died approximately 12,500 feet below the surface of the North Atlantic Ocean. Rush was the CEO of OceanGate and the inventor of the Titan submersible. The vessel was designed to take wealthy tourists down to view the wreck of the Titanic. Rush had designed the Titan's pressure hull from carbon fiber instead of the titanium traditionally used in deep-sea submersibles. He publicly stated that he'd broken some rules in the vessel's construction. Engineers and industry experts warned that carbon fiber was unsuitable for repeated deep-sea pressure cycles. Rush dismissed the safety concerns. On June 18, 2023, he piloted the Titan down toward the Titanic wreck with 4 paying passengers. At approximately 11,000 feet depth, the immense pressure compromised the experimental carbon fiber hull. The hull catastrophically failed. The Titan imploded in a fraction of a millisecond. The pressure wave moved faster than the human nervous system could transmit signals. Rush and his passengers were vaporized before their brains could register what was happening. Debris from the Titan was recovered from the ocean floor days later. Stockton Rush died instantly in the implosion, killed by the experimental design he'd insisted was safe despite expert warnings to the contrary.